Hello, everybody. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to start using the lift arm on our robot, and we're going to learn how to program that to move up or down, or maybe in a middle position somewhere in between. We're going to learn about indexing. First of all, that's one of the most important skills we're going to actually have to learn in this one. We're also going to add another event trigger, which is when you tap the robot to give us a third option aside from the left or the right button being pressed. Okay, now the first question you might have is, what's this thing going to do? By the time we're done, it should look something like this. So when you press the buttons, it goes to down, or tap it, it goes to the middle position, or press this button, the arm goes all the way up on the robot. So the next question you might have, and you can go back too. So down, middle, back to down, up, middle. So those are the things that we're going to program it to do. You might wonder, why would you want to do such a thing? Because in the future, we're actually going to use this robot to drive out, grab objects, and drag them back to somewhere. I'll show you in just a sec here. So the reason that we want to do that is we can have this robot, check it out, he's going to go out and grab this fin can here and bring it back to score points or whatever. So you grab it and deposit things, and then it could move on and do other things too. Okay, so I'm going to open up Spike now. I need to show you the next thing, which is how to index the motor so that when it's at 0, our lift arm is down at 0. And then when we go to 90, it'll go up. If you don't have it in the right place at the beginning, it doesn't work. So let's get that done first. So just go down here, and we're going to open up, just type in, go down here into search and Spike. Let's open up that app, and we're going to choose the Spike Prime because that's the middle school and high school stuff. The other one is mainly for like elementary school students, if it ever opens. Okay, after quite a wait, it did pop up. Go to Spike Prime. And we're just going to start a new project here. We're always using the middle one, which is word blocks, and create. Okay, we're going to start off with the regular stuff here, just because we're not going to really move much in this one, but we are going to do that in the next assignment that we're going to use this code for. So let's get it set up right now. Again, we set the movement speed. Right now mine says 50. We're going to set our movement motors. Ours are usually going to be plugged into C and D. Cool. And one rotation is 17.5. That means later in the next assignment when we want to go 10 inches or 8 inches or 4 inches or 35 centimeters, whatever, we'll be able to just have it do that automatically for us without calculations. It's going to do that because now it knows how big the wheels are. Okay, for this assignment, we're going to have 3 different events. Oh, we need to do this first. We need to index it. Okay, now I'd like to talk about what's called indexing. Okay, so I'm going to take a look, and we're going to look at this robot right here, which is connected. You'd have to be connected to see this data. All right, so let me get that a little bit bigger and get this set up so you can see it better. Okay, so now I've got it zoomed in. It took me a while to set this up. So we're looking at C and D are the movement motors here, and you can see the data that's coming back on them. E is the motor right here that's controlling the lift arm, and that's what we want to focus on. So for right now, I'm just going to hide these other ones, so we don't care about those. And we're going to talk about how we have to know where 0 is before we start. We call this indexing. So to index something means we have to get it in the right position before we start out. Let me move this camera over here. There we go. So we got to get in the right position before we start doing anything. What we want to know is we want to make sure that when this arm is down like this, that position is called 0 degrees on this motor. Right now it's at 186. It should be at 0. Here's how you fix that. Let me show you. Well, first of all, I'm just going to take this piece off, and that's why it's so easy. It snaps on and off. See, now I've detached this piece right here. Just pop that off. And now we have this with the gear exposed. And I wanted to show you guys, well, maybe this camera would be better. Autofocus isn't working. Let's try back to here, and let's try to focus this. Okay, there we go. We can see it better. Do you see how there's that empty circle right here? Okay, so there's a little circle icon. What you're going to do is take that off and then turn this. Oh, there it is. See how these two are lined up? Do you see what the data says? And that up at the screen, it's at 0 or 359. Now, 358, that's really close to 0 because 360, it would reset to 0. But you can see that when I have these two icons lined up, the empty circle with the circle down here, it's going to be right around 0. Close enough for us. Okay, now we have it, and we want 0 to be when this thing is in the down position. Not up, we want it down. So let's go ahead and snap that thing back on, and we're going to make sure that when we do it, try to keep this so it doesn't move the motor at all. Because right now, it's lined up at 0. You can see the data up above on this screen up. Wait, how do you do that? Is it up here? No. Up here. Sorry. So there it is, okay? So I'm going to try to basically not move the motor and slide this on so it's in the down position, which would be straight ahead. And you have to do this because otherwise, like, there's no way for the Legos to know where it's at. Ooh, I don't like that. Let's go down a little further. So I got to detach it. We don't want it dragging on the ground quite, but okay, and let's see. Do I still have it? Yeah, look. I've got it lined up at 0. And now this thing is in the down position. Uh-oh, my wire is getting in the way here. That's kind of important too. The wire for this should be crimped up. All right, cool. We've got it indexed. Index just means I'm starting at the right place. 0 is down. All right, so now we can see that the motor is set to 0, and 0 means it's in the down position. All right, cool. Now I'm going to go back to my other view. And here we go. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is, let's get rid of this. So we've got our basic setup done. We're going to use, for this one, I'm going to show you. In the past, we've always used movement because the only motors we've controlled are the wheeled motors that actually move the robot around. And you should still use those if you want to drive forward, backwards, or turn the robot. But what you can also do is if you go up to the motors, the difference is the motor just controls one motor at a time. And that's what we want for our lift arm because we only have one motor attached to it and it's not a movement action, okay? All right, cool. So let's go ahead and let's see here, just a sec. I think my record. Okay, so what we're going to do is let's make one event, and our first event, let's just go ahead and drag that on out. Whoops, go to events. Sorry. And we're going to have this first one happen when the left button is pressed. We're also going to have another one when the right button is pressed, and those will be up and down positions. So when we press it, it goes up. We press the right button, it goes down. Okay, so what are we going to do? We're going to go back to motors, and we're going to go up here, and we're going to go this one where it says go to the shortest path. Run a motor to the shortest path to position. Because we know the positions we want to go in, because we took time to index our motor, we know what to do. I'm going to drag it out. Our motor is plugged into port E, so I need to change that to E. You can see our two small motors and our big one's plugged into E. If you have your motor plugged in somewhere else, you'll have to fix that yourself, either through code or rewiring the motor to a different port. All right, so hey, let's see that. And 0 was going to be down. Let's turn this thing and see what will be what it's going to be when our robot is going to be up. We got to know how many degrees when it goes straight up. If you're guessing 90, hint, you know what you're talking about a little bit, so I'll show you. Watch, you might know. Okay, so let's check it out. What you do is we're going to go back to this view where we can just look at it. And I'm just going to go down here and turn this motor with my hand until, wrong way, until that goes up to the straight up and down position. Hey, and look at that. Whoops, where are we at? About right there. So we can see that at about 90 degrees, the thing's almost straight up and down, and that's what we want for the up or open position. Okay, cool. Let's go back and program that. I'm going to duplicate this one because it's already set up. And I'm going to change this to position at 90 degrees. Okay, cool. Okay, now I'm going to stop and I'm going to run the program and let's see how it works. If we did it right, this should go down with the left button, and I press the right button and it should go up to 90 degrees. Hey man, that's awesome. We've got 2 parts of it done. I want to add a 3rd part and then get set up for our next assignment. So let's go ahead and add one that's in between. So we have down, up. Let's add one that's in between, okay? Well, guess what? Since we're going from 0 to 90, half of 90, if you divide 90 by 2, you're going to get 45 degrees. But the problem is we've already used the left button and the right button. The middle button would stop the program, so we can't use that. Here's what we're going to do. Go down to Control, go to Events, and do you see this one? It says When Shaken. You can drag that out, and we'll put that one in the middle because it's going to be in the middle. When shaken, I'm going to actually zoom in a little bit so you can see this better. There we go. So when shaken, you're going to change that so it says when tapped. It would be too hard to shake it, but if we tap it, all you do is you just tap it. Okay, and we're going to duplicate this one, and instead of 0 or 90, we're going to go halfway in between, which is 90 divided by 2 is 45 degrees. There it is. And then I'm going to press play. So I'm re-downloading the code, and now it's going to wait for me to go down. That still works. Up, that works. And now I'm just going to tap somewhere on the robot. Hey, halfway. That's awesome. Okay, now you're ready with the program, but I want you to have, when I grade this, I want this other code to be on the screen. This will get us set up for our next move. So where we're going to go with this next is we're going to use this to program something like I did earlier, where the robot has to drive forward, lift it up, drive forward, put it down, grab the object, drive backwards, lift it up, and then drive further back. So to do that and get set up, we're not going to do that yet, but we're going to get our stuff ready. So let's duplicate this up, that would be down, middle, and up. And we're going to put notes on it so we know. So go here and add a comment. I'm going to make my comment I'm going to type in lift arm, or let's just say arm down. Let me stop the program because it lags out. Arm down. I like to have it like this. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to do another comment here. Arm, middle. Awesome. Shrink that down, put it right up here. And finally, we're going to have this one, and we're going to call it, you guessed it, arm up. And now, guess what? Not only are you going to show me this code and get credit for this assignment, but these other 3 blocks, they're not going to do anything for your code. Like I could play it. They don't do anything because they're not connected to anything. But now those are sitting there just waiting for us to redo our next assignment. And of course, before you get out of here, I would go save as, and I'd call it just lift arm. Lift arm. Save it like that, and then show me that you can do this. So you come up to my desk, and you show me up, middle, and down positions by pressing the left arrow, the tap, or the right arrow. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. And remember, this won't work for you ever until you index the robot. You have to make sure that 0 is down first. That's really important. I can't stress that enough. If you need any help with any of that, come and hit me up, and I'll be glad to teach you.